Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. I noticed that some of you are already reading the card game instructions, so I want to interrupt really quickly before you do so. Hi, my name is Julie Johnson. I'm a graduate student here. I work in the Ed Psych department with Dr. Enright. And if you've heard of Dr. Robert Enright, he's been studying forgiveness for about 25 years. So that's actually one of my areas of interest, as well as social justice related to identity development. So that's what I study here at the university. I'm also a future faculty partner with the Teaching Academy. And so I've been teaching here for a few years as well, undergraduate courses. And I also work for DeLuca Academic Technology. So I primarily work with the active teaching events. So you should have a handout that has the labs and exchanges. So if you've had fun today, you should join us at one of those events. So because I work with active teaching, I was asked to facilitate an active learning activity with you all today. So I hope that you will humor me and as I model a little bit of humility up here as I facilitate this activity. I have facilitated this activity before, but never with this many people, so we will see how this goes. So, as you have seen, there are instructions for this game at your table. So we are all playing a tournament card game, and you don't really realize it yet, but you will in a moment, because I'm about to tell you that table 1 is already winning. Table 1 is your objective of the tournament. What's going to happen is you are going to play this card game at your table, and when you win a certain round, you'll get to move up to the next table, or I guess move down in numbers. So your goal is to get to table number 1. Sorry, table 15. We'll see what happens. So here we go. Okay, so first of all, if you believe you've played this game before, just play. Keep playing. Don't ruin the experience for anybody. Yep, if you don't feel like playing and you want to help facilitate, that's fine as well. Just let one of our facilitators know. Most of this game will occur in silence. So what's going to happen is, in a few moments, I will give you 5 minutes to learn how to play the game. So you all get to interact with your instructions, you'll get to play a few rounds of practice, you can talk to each other and ask questions and clarifying questions. And then, after that, once the tournament begins, there will be no talking. And that includes writing, so actually any communication of any kind that's not written or verbal. And rule number 3, just please listen to me. If I say the round has ended, we should make sure we want to end the round so we can move on. Okay, so with that, I'm going to let you go ahead, learn how to play 5 tricks. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, starting now.
So continue going around. So when you and I questions go out.
Like don't have to go away when you're going to play the eighth of like I'm not going to play the heavy.
You have a minute and a half left.
It would be laughing anyway.
Okay, this is your 30-second warning. Okay, take about 30 more seconds to just look at the rules one more time before our facilitators come around and take them away.
No, it don't matter. It just figure it out.
Okay, our facilitators are going to come around and collect the instructions from you. So the blue sheet and the white sheet. You want to gather those up. right, so right now we're going to practice not communicating. So we're just going to practice for a moment, not communicating. So this is what it's going to be like for the next 15, 20 minutes, okay? It's okay if you giggle here and there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start round one. Round one's going to last about 4 minutes, okay? So when I say go, you'll begin. Don't forget to keep track. The only change, there is only one quick change that I'm making. If you read the very bottom at the end of the round, who moves, we're only going to move one person. So the one person that wins will move, and the one person who loses will move. We have fewer people here. I planned for 200, so okay. All right, so let us begin round one now. Okay, this is the end of round one. If you are in the middle of a game, count based on where you are in the middle of the game to determine the winner. And then if there's a tie, alphabetical by first name will be the winner. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, if you are the winner, go ahead and stand up and you're going to move to the next table with the lowest number. And if you won the fewest amount of games, go ahead and stand up, and you're going to move up to the next highest table number. And again, if you tied in the least amount of games, if your name is alphabetically higher in the alphabet, you can stay put. If your name is alphabetically lower, then you'll move. First name. Oh, sorry. Winner of table 1 stay put, and the one who won the least amount of games at table 15 stay put. You are doing a great job being silent too. Okay. Let's begin round 2. Okay. All right, that's the end of round 2. We're going to move the same way we did before, so you'll stay put if you weren't a winner or a loser. If you're a winner, go ahead and move to the next lowest number table. If you were the loser, move up to the next highest number table. And again, ties are determined first name, alphabetical. If you're higher in the alphabet, you win. Once you find your seat, be in the next round. Okay, that's the end of round 3. We're going to go ahead and move seats just like we've done in the past. Okay, when everyone's settled, go ahead and begin round 4. Okay, that's the end of the round. We're going to pause now. Okay, we're going to do a little debrief of what just happened. So what just happened? Discuss with your current table first, please. And how did it make you feel? I'm going to try and interrupt you for a second. I know that you're pretty excited to finally be talking. But if I can have your attention. Okay. So I want to take a quick poll. How many of you felt frustrated? How many of you felt angry? What were some other emotions? Confused? Left out? Yeah. What else? Yeah.
I was grateful that somebody else at the table who been playing with the rules I've been playing with previously because she had
So.
down the piece of the game to learn the rules of this game. When I was by myself, I wasn't able to figure out a way to do that.
So how many of you felt like you maybe had an ally at some point? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So if you didn't figure it out, every table had slightly different rules. Yeah, very slight. It was pretty much the same game, but some of you had aces high. Some of you had aces low. Some of you had diamonds as trump. Some of you had spades as trump. Some of you could play trump at any time. Others of you had to follow suit if you could. Yes, I know, I'm really neat. I'm sorry. Okay. But I want to pull this activity kind of back to something real. I want you to kind of think about your own classroom, think about your students, and think about the university. And discuss with your current table, what are the ways that the UW might be like this game? Or that your classroom culture might be like this game?
Well, I've only been there for 7 weeks, so it's hard for me to pick UW Health. Yes. So it's hard for me to But I want to talk about me. That's right. I just love
have the option to say this is a very I might have to know what
I would have like, but it's always everything. You know, that happens. Right. Well, like, you know, if it's taking the best foundation,
I think what it was too is this idea that we're all learning one another, a new person came to the table, like but then once you get there, it wasn't that because we were focused on what was what we understood and we were forward, and not at any point recognized to myself that there was a difference between hard and that wasn't even in my thought process because I like to think if I had done that, it would have said, I do like this and try to communicate that. But I think I know what my culture is and what my norms are, and I'm being friendly because I'm being welcoming. I'm not
that attachment is very set with what they want. They were okay doing their two hands. It was I pointed out to them and laughed with them about it in this movie.
Okay, I want to bring it back to the main group. So what do you guys think? What do you all think? How did you relate this? Yeah. Microphones are really helpful. Thank you.
I love this game. Is it on? Yeah. And I just want to say that the place I went with it was watching how we resolve conflicts or differences of opinion, and when we were realizing that it was not like there were rules, but there were norms that were being imported from different cultures or tables.
This relates very much to the classroom. So that students come into our classrooms and they have to learn what our expectations are for exams, for everything. And every single instructor at this university has a different set of rules. And if you have multiple instructors within a class, each instructor has different rules. And it's not obvious what those rules are. And as a student, you typically only learn those rules on the exam. And then you may move on to another instructor at that point in time.
I noticed that I always started at a point on the table where I had one fewer card than everyone else on all three tables. And I thought that sounds like a lot of our students who come in already at a disadvantage. So maybe they can't afford their textbooks, maybe they can't, they didn't take any AP classes in high school, or, they started off at a disadvantage and then they could never catch up. And so every single time we moved down a table. So that was kind of my experience.
I love this. Thank you for doing this. So I got to move up, which meant that the strategies that worked for me here, I was very confident, delighted with myself to go to the next table. Then I led my eight and they took it away. And what worked for me to get me here isn't going to necessarily be what's going to work for me there. But I didn't know that. And those are all very nice people I've never met, and I didn't get to meet them. They took my ace, and now I'm back here. I was very happy to come back here, which I kind of said to these guys. I know the rules. Yes, this is a suckier table, but hey, I love it. So we just talked about get 15, man.
Oh, I was just going to say, we had a lot of people who teach in a medical school at our table, and so we shared how a lot of us interact with students in very short bursts of time in our own comfort zone. And as a person who stayed at this table, I noticed it come up in myself, the sort of othering of like, I'm here, I know the rules, I feel bad for you, but I also feel glad I'm here. And so with our students, I think we probably do that a lot, where we don't bring them probably in close enough to make them feel welcome in these weeks. Like we see them for a week and then we change the rules on them. So I think that just made me think a lot about that.
Just say, I don't want table 15 to feel like they were the only ones who were experiencing that like relief, but they were the only ones who kind of got to stay put and let other people go in the other direction. So that othering, I think, happened at table 1 and table 15, and we talked about that here. So I just didn't want you to feel like you were
I inexplicably kept winning, so, and I realized very quickly that it had to do with total luck, but, I guess there's another way. It's like a sort of opportunity to examine a sense of privilege, too. It's like, well, of course I won. I'm really competitive, and I play a lot of card games. My family's a gambling family. And, you were like me and had my skills, right? You could be at table 1, too, right?
Yeah, and it's hard. It's really hard. It's harder for you to empathize with someone who's losing when you're like, hi.
There was an amazing moment, though, at one of the tables where I have no idea what was happening, but somebody started by showing a card, and I was like, what is going on? And then I dealt next, so I showed a card, because I was like, oh, this is not right. That was a mistake. Like, I thought I was greeting you in your language.
I was struck by how we were all, according to the spirit of no sign language, very, very, very much cheating. And thinking about how sometimes breaking the rules of the classroom serves an important affective and emotional purpose for our students, and it isn't about us. And made me want to be a little bit more gracious when they're talking to one another.
Yeah, wait, tell me more. It isn't about us as instructors? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it feels like, why don't they care about what I'm saying? Why are they ignoring another student presenter? Well, their cat just died and their new friend is comforting them. Like, I don't know that, it's fine. Or they didn't understand.
I think sometimes we try to figure out when certain students clump together in the classroom, even in the active learning center that we have in the nursing school. We try to debate with ourselves, do we break them up, no matter what their diversity is? And I saw this in myself when I went to this table after someone else who'd been here at this table. and we were able to kind of overtake the game, even though they had their rules and they were different than ours. We kind of overtook their rules and made up what we just came from, and she actually won the game and got to move ahead. And so it's kind of putting in perspective why certain people sit next to each other, because you feel empowered. And it's a really hard balance of, do we separate certain people and try to mix the class around, or is that good for them to be in that spot?
Yeah, and also if you do intentional group mixing or group assignment in your class, that you give students the opportunity to really develop group dynamics, and to just look that up. How do I help my students develop a group, and what does that look like? Creating a safe space where they can share their ideas and feel confident as a part of that group, right? Just being in your group. Wouldn't it have been great if you could have talked to one another? Yeah, go ahead.
So I am super competitive, also, Jen. And there's a young woman at this table, Allie, who is not overly competitive. And so things that made me anxious and like I needed to be winning, she was like, whatever, I'll just go to another table. As long as I'm moving, then I'm actively participating, right? And so that really made me think about this and the idea of investment in the class, and the fact that some of us are teaching major classes and some of us are not. And I guess to be realistic and to be honest about what this course means to the student, what it could mean, and just be really frank about that experience and how it's different for everyone.
I wanted to add to the comments about grouping, because in a way, like whose voice dominates at a table. At my table, we experienced a group of us like being in shared agreement about the norm, and so we kind of like pounded on one of our people who came in as the outsider a little harder. And I really do think this idea though of ganging up, meaning people as a group seem to have more of a say than another person or another group, is really important in our classrooms. And I also want to say that it can be inverted. I taught a class a couple of years ago where the students told me that I was not teaching the class right because I was not in their discipline, and they, as a class, ganged up on me. And I think ganging up and bullying, whether it's going from the teacher to the students or groups of students to other groups of students or the students to the teachers, like, we're really critical in this kind of climate that we have right now.
There was a time when I switched tables when I realized I didn't know the rules. And so I just kind of sat back, and if someone pushed their group of cards toward me, I realized, hey, I won. And if they didn't, then I would just And it made me think about students who might be sitting back or on the periphery because they feel like they don't know the rules or they don't know how the classroom is running. And it's really easy to miss those students. And so it's making me think a little bit about reaching out to students who might look like they're sitting on the periphery or not doing as well.
Actually, I have a question for the group, and that's whether, did anybody find that a newcomer changed the rules of their table? So how many tables changed rules based on a new incomer? So my table changed rules based on the incomer. So 2 tables, so not very often, but we did have a phenomenon of incomer transition or something.
Thank you. I felt lost to begin with. Because I don't play cards. So, but to me, learning is celebration of life and sacrifice hope. Hope for a better future, yeah? That's the reason all of us are learning. That's the reason always I stay in the class. So I said, okay, how can I participate in this celebration? I have to be quick on my feet and learn from my failure that I lost in the first table, they kicked me out. In the second or third table, I do a better job. Unfortunately, I lost again. I learned something from it, that the rules are changing and I have to be quick on my feet. I don't have to always blame other people for my failure. I have to be vigilant and adapt myself as well.
used to keep talking about it. Regardless, I didn't win all these, and regardless of that, one of the things that I kind of found frustrating was we rarely ever got to get past one round of cards. And so the pace of the learning, if you like, was that, you know, because some people dealt slower, some people like took longer, and I was like, oh, come on, hurry up. Because there was never any kind of explanation about whether we played more rounds, whether I had more chance to win or not. And so we didn't talk about this, but I was just thinking that, you know, it's kind of, sometimes you sit in a class or you're instructing a class and you're not consciously thinking about the pace that you're delivering content. And I think that it could be, it just shows you how it can be really frustrating. So
yeah.
Feel fast.
So yeah, I facilitate a lot of these different experiences, and we call that process versus product. And oftentimes in the classroom and in the world, we value product, right? Let's get to the end. Let's finish this product. Let's finish this, you know, paper. We've got to just get it done. And forgetting about the process. And the thing about empathy and humility is that oftentimes the growth in that comes from the process. So yeah.
I kind of thought of when I came to a new table and I didn't know the rules, and I realized the rules are completely different when I put my ace of spades down and they took it away. I thought of curved classes a lot too, that a lot of the students might kind of have the gist of it and what's going on, and there's a lot of competition and no one wants to help each other. And so maybe the group that I heard you guys was at that table kind of cheated and kind of didn't tell anybody what was going on purpose. Like, I think a lot of students can do that to each other in curved classes, and how can we create an atmosphere to help each other and to teach each other the rules, and we can all succeed.
I wanted to add one more thing that hasn't come up yet, surprisingly, I think, which is the role of initiative and leadership. At one point I was at a table where there was only one original person from the table, so only one person who knew the rules of that game. And I think the rest of us were all from different tables. And so each round, whoever dealt would sort of play by their rules, and you know, at some point they would push the pile of cards towards the seemingly random person. There was no opportunity to learn the pattern, right? Or a pattern that we could all sort of agree on and come to terms with. So I think tying this to campus, of course, there are lots of spaces where, well, on this campus, we're also autonomous in so many ways, right? People have their own research agendas, every department's a little bit different. There's not a whole lot of centralization. I think that opens a lot of spaces where you know, students are really crying out for initiatives and leadership to help impose some sort of order, to impose some sort of shared community, some common culture, some common agendas, and that sort of thing. So these might be things that we could look out for as educators.
Okay, so we're actually going to spend, just one more.
Well, I was going to respond to the comment because I love that table. I love the dynamic of it. And just to respond to your comment in the context of what we're here to talk about today, with learning and welcoming. I'm super fast at this table. And when I came to that table and the plane was going so fast and my one lifeline was like, you know, we wanted to be playing fast, but first needed to learn what the hell was happening there. And so the frustration that we had wasn't because we couldn't play at that level, it's because we hadn't yet been onboarded to do it. And so I was just reflecting on that as you're talking about the frustration that would happen over time of a high-performing team and how difficult it is to onboard a new person. If the team feels like, then we can't do what we were wanting to be doing, except we wanted to be doing it too because we crushed it over here. We wanted to come in there. So thank you for sharing that, Sukami.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next, to the panel, but we're going to be doing some sound checks and things like that. So while we're going through that, I just have one more question for you that you can discuss at your table, because I think I really appreciate you humoring me and participating in this activity, and I'm glad that it sounds like a lot of you got a lot out of this. So if you want to just discuss this at your table while we're setting up the panel, and thank